Hey, gorgeous people. Welcome to my channel, Being a Carer with Kes. The questions are raining in from you awesome subscribers. And trust me, I'm elated, I'm excited, and I cannot wait to divulge the answers to you guys. So what are these questions? Now, I have been asked, can you resuscitate someone who has a DNAR in their care plan? What is the holy grail of care? Should I pray with a client? Tell them, God bless you? Who takes priority while caring for a service user? Yourself or the service user? All these and much more I will be answering in this video. So sit tight, don't go anywhere. My name is Kesiena Akwara Ati, a health and social care trainer. To all you old and new returning subscribers, we go in places, trust me. And thank you so much for all your support. You guys are simply great. You're simply the best. You have the bomb. You get what I mean? And hey, if you're just watching this channel for the first time, hello, what on earth are you waiting for? Smash the subscribe button, and click the like button. Gives me a thumbs up, okay? And don't forget, click on that notification bell. So whenever I upload a new video, you will be among the very first to know. Also, follow me on Instagram, Care by Kes, TikTok, Care by Kes, and Twitter, Care by Kes as well. And as always, I will see you there. So what are these questions? Now, I did say initially that somebody asked, do I resuscitate someone who has a DNAR in place? Now, what is a DNAR? Now, a DNAR simply means do not attempt resuscitation. Now, it means that if they become unconscious, they do not want to be resuscitated, brought back to life. So yes, if you find someone who is unconscious, and that is why I did say that if you find somebody lying on the floor, do not go picking them up. And that is why you should also know if they have a do not attempt resuscitation or not. Because if they have, don't resuscitate, and you resuscitate them, they can sue you. Yes, they can sue you because their last wish is that they do not want to be brought back to life if they become unconscious. So please do not. Okay? And the other question is, what is the holy grail of care? Now, the holy grail of care is the care plan. And that will help you to identify those who need resuscitation if they become unconscious and those who do not want to be resuscitated. So yes, the care plan is the holy grail of care. So it's important that whether you're in a domiciliary setting, in a care home, in a nursing home, as a support worker, whatever capacity you are in, as long as you are in care and you are in charge of clients or service users or residents, it is your duty to read the care plan to know what you should do if they become unconscious, what you should not do, because the care plan tells you everything you need to know about the client or resident or service user, so you know how to best care for them, if that makes sense. Yeah. Now, I have also been asked, while caring for a service user, who takes priority? You want to know what the answer is? It's simple. Yourself. Yes. You, the carer. Because the truth is that if anything happens to you whilst you are caring for the service user, what happens to them? So if you pass out, for instance, and you're transferring a service user from the bed to the commode or commode to the bed, or you're giving them a wash or whatever, what happens to them? So in everything you do, you look out for yourself first and then the service user. Does that make any sense? I know some of you are saying, are you sure? Yes, because you need to be okay, you need to be sound. And that takes me to the next question. I have been asked, if I'm unwell, do I go to work still? And I'm like, no. When you are unwell, do not go to work. Now, we know our bodies are different. Now, if at 10 a.m. or 10 p.m., you feel unwell, do not wait till 6:30 in the morning of the following day, where you should be resuming your shift at 7. to call your boss or field supervisor to say, I am sorry, I cannot go to work. No, that is bad. Why? How are they going to fill up the vacancy? Think about it. So if at 10 in the night you feel unwell, the simple thing you should do is send a message to your field supervisor or call your field supervisor or your manager to say, I am sorry, I don't feel so well, I don't feel good. They might say to you rather that if by 12 or 1 you're not okay, still send them a message. And please, if at that time you still feel unwell, send a message. Because if anything happens to you while you are caring for the service user or client, trust me, nobody's going to be happy with you because you have endangered them. That's basically what you have done. You are giving somebody a wash or in a sling and you pass out and the person is dangling all over the place. Come on. They will hold you responsible. Does that make sense? Because it is your social responsibility to keep them safe. And if by keeping them safe for you, you have to stay off work because you're unwell, then please stay off work. But give your manager or your team leader or shift leader or field supervisor ample notice of your illness. Does that make sense? Lovely. Now, I have also been asked, what do you do if a client approaches you to help them make a decision? Now, let me say this. Please decline. What did I say? Decline. You are not their social worker. You are not a family member. It doesn't matter if you have done living with them for 10 years. You are not a member of the family. So when they approach you to please help them make a decision or give an advice, just say, I'm really sorry, honestly, I don't understand what this is all about. I think your whoever is around them will be in a better position to give advice. Does that make sense? So you don't get into trouble. All right? Now, I have also been asked, this one is very funny actually. It says, the driving requirement in these care jobs, is it mainly for driving clients around or you have to do their errands? Or is it because there's a lack of public transportation? Hello, this is the United Kingdom. There isn't a lack of public transportation. Yes, with areas where buses don't frequent as much as other areas. Okay, but trust me, there's no lack of public transportation. Now, the driving is because if you're in domiciliary setting, you need to go from one place to the other. Okay, and it's cost effective that you know how to drive, because when you go to the bus stop, you have to wait for the bus. It could be 5 minutes, it could be 15 minutes, it could be 20 minutes before the bus arrives. Now, you're going to be late for your call if that is the case. So whilst you are driving, it makes it easy for you to connect your points, your clients easily. And also, when we have public holidays, one in particular, and that is the Christmas holidays. On Christmas Day in particular, there are no buses. Yes. If you are new in the UK, please know this. On Christmas Day, there is no soul on the road except those who are visiting family and they are driving themselves for lunch. So on Christmas Day, no buses on the road, no trains. It's a public holiday for the whole country. So bear that in mind. All right. Now, the driving also helps you to carry them around, because sometimes you may have to take them to their doctor's appointments, meet up with friends, go their shopping and all of that. Yeah. So that is why it is required. And besides, it's even good for you as well. So because when it's winter and it's horribly cold, you're in a warm car. You're not, shivering down the street to the bus stop or at the bus stop waiting for the bus to come in. All right. Now, somebody also asks, while working with a colleague, can I speak our native language or dialect in the client's house? The answer to that is a capital no. You cannot speak your language, in a client's house, particularly when it's a double up. You can't, because they may assume you're talking about them. You don't want that stress, really. Okay. Now, I've also been asked, how do you encourage a service user to be independent? Good question. Now, I assume you would have read the care plan. You would know who can do things on their own and who cannot do things on their own. All right. Now, that gives you an idea of what to expect. And like I always say to people, if you're working with somebody for the first time, ask questions from your other colleagues or those you met there. Now, one way I want to realize to encourage service users to be independent is to prompt them. Oh, John, would you like to do that? And when they can speak for themselves, encourage them to speak for themselves. Does that make sense? So you prompt them, you encourage them, and when they do what you have encouraged them to do, celebrate it. Oh, bravo, wonderful. Oh, you solid, you great. And trust me, next time they want to do more. Okay? Because as a support worker in particular, we are to help them achieve their independent and individual goals, set targets. So yes, you can encourage them by prompting them, encourage them. Of course, again, cultivating a relationship with them, but of course, knowing your boundaries. Okay, awesome. Somebody also asked me, can I do my MVQ online before coming to the UK? To be honest with you, I would say no. Now, why am I saying no? The thing why I say no, because when you come to the UK and you are writing your MVQ, you are usually given an assessor. Now, who is an assessor? They assess you on the work you are doing. They help you. Now, because you're already doing the work on ground, you will find that answering the questions, because it's not a test, loads of assignments to be given, you are able to answer the questions. And when you are stuck, your assessor is able to help you. Does that make sense? So if you can hold on till you come to the UK and do it better. Okay. And of course, if you have to pay as well for yourself, if your employer is not willing to do that for you, or your sponsor, there could be an arrangement where you pay instrumentally. Does that make sense? Awesome. Now, like I said, can you pray with your residents? The answer to that is no. Now, we are all Christians. We know we want to save souls and all of that, but not here. Don't tell them, oh, I'll pray for you. Or no. Don't tell them God bless you. Because somebody don't believe in God. That's the honest truth. But if they initiate it, you will say, oh, I don't really know about that. No, I really want you to pray with me. It's up to you at that point. They asked. And so when you're writing your report, make sure you include that they asked you. But to be honest with you, I'd rather you do not pray with them, even though they initiate and ask for it. But get clearance first from your employer, if you should. Because, particularly when they have dementia, they may forget that they asked you to pray with them. All right. Now, a colleague was telling me about, oh, she told somebody, God bless and keep you, and they were angry with her. And I said, why would you do that? They don't like it. You make them feel they are atheists or whatever, and they don't really like it. You know, if you know they don't like something, please don't tell them. Yes, you believe that your belief is fine, but don't impose that on the client or service user. So the answer again is no. Don't pray with them. Don't initiate it. Don't do nothing. Do your work and leave. If they're insistent, get clarification from your manager or whoever before you do anything. And of course, put it in documentation just in case they say they didn't tell you to do that. Does that make sense? Now, what do you do if a client dies in front of you? Now, that is tough because we are different and we respond to these things differently. And if you're on a Tier 2 visa, this might be your first time. So you might be in shock for the first part. But if you're not one or who gets into shock like that, when the client dies in front of you, the first thing you want to do is to verify if they are breathing or not. Now, when you have verified that, you need to note down the time you realize that they were dead. And then you make the call, calling your employer or whoever is in charge. And if they die with their eyes open, you need to cover their eyes and use their duvet or bedsheet or whatever to cover them up. Does that make sense? So that is what you're supposed to do. So thank you all so much for all these questions. Hey, send more questions, all right? And until I see my next video, never forget this. Always remember that no matter what the matter is, you, my darlings, matter so much more. Over.